Good day, everyone. We are going to talk about horses and fireworks and what we do on the 4th of July to try and keep our horses happy while people are shooting off fireworks. There are a couple of things you can do. I'm going to tell you what we do. These horses have all lived here. This horse Queen has been here. It'll be 2 years in November. So she has been through one 4th of July with us, and she did great. When you have a new horse, it can be challenging because you're not sure how they're going to react. The OGs, as I call them, the older horses like Fleur and these two beautiful boys right here, Jackson Boone, they've lived here for 18 years and they have been through a lot of fireworks. As soon as fireworks became legal in the state of Georgia, it became a free-for-all. The first couple of years that they were legal, it was like a war zone here on the 4th of July. I am in the back pasture because I feel like this is the best pasture for my horses this week. Luckily it fell in the turnout, but regardless, we would have put them in this pasture anyway. I'm gonna pan around and show you what the pasture looks like. So here's my property. There's the barn right here. House is up there behind it. Boss is right next to me. Up there is our easement road. Way in the front, Boss wants me to scratch, I'm sorry. Way up there in front of the barn, you can see part of the arena. That's the front pasture. So you can tell this whole property is kind of like on a downward slope. So we are at the lower part, and this pasture in itself, it has several different tiers. So I'm going to pan around. Why am I choosing this pasture? Because I have trees on both sides that have gotten really, really big and really, really tall. Lots of privacy in the back, huge trees. Fireworks are loud. They're also very visual, which is why I like them in this pasture, because they can't see them as much because the trees are so huge and tall. I've got trees that go all the way around us except for up there where the house is, where the front pasture is, that's right on the highway. So I would never put them up there on the 4th of July. So I know that I've got neighbors across the street that light them off. I've got neighbors behind me, behind all those trees, that light them off. And then there's some people over here on the next road over that light them off traditionally. So when the horses are way back here, they don't see them as much. They're gonna smell the smoke, they're gonna hear them. They're not gonna hear them as loudly because we are way back here in the back of the property. So visually, it's not gonna affect them as much. They will smell the smoke. They will see some go over the trees, especially if my neighbor way back here lights them off. You'll see them over those trees. And my neighbor on the other side, let me take it easy on the panning. They usually light some off and you can see them crest over those trees some. However, this is a situation where the OGs like Jackson Boone, they stay pretty calm. And so does Fleur. Fleur had a bad experience the first year she was here. It took us a couple years to get her over that. What we did in that case, if you have a horse that had a bad time with it, you can put them all in the barn. You can close their windows, and if you have a stereo, crank that stereo up so it's not visual and they don't hear them as much. They're also in there with each other, so they do feel safe because they are herd animals. Boss has never been bothered by them. June, I've had her now for almost 4 years. She doesn't care, and like I said, last year Queen did absolutely fine. Some people that have horses or even dogs and cats that have a hard time with fireworks, they can sedate them. You can give horses reserpine to calm them down. Make sure they have hay. And that's one more thing I wanted to tell you guys before I go. Right before dusk, right before everybody starts lighting them off and they go off in town, I put hay out for everybody. Hay, I always say it's like a pacifier. It keeps them happy. It gives them something to do. Grazing pacifies horses, so I always make sure that they have hay. And what I usually do, I'm gonna pan around, I'm gonna walk toward my barn a little bit so you can see where I'm gonna keep checking on them. The way that our house is built, we live up there on the top floor, is the main part of the house. That deck back there, I'll come out on that deck and a lot of times I'll just sit out there and I just keep an eye on them. But anywhere from the windows on the second floor of our house, you can look out and see the horses, but I come out there all the time and I'll just check on these guys. If I hear them running around a lot and herding up, I'll just come down here and give them some more hay. And if you have to do that, just be really careful. They see great at night, we don't. Just make sure that they're happy. If they're really running around bad and they're hurting up, I'll throw the flakes of hay over the fence line. And if I have to like separate them, I'll throw like 4 along this fence line. I'll go into that pasture right there and I'll throw a couple over here. But when I put hay out, I'm almost done. I know this is long. I usually put it down lower because here's a tier. And then this goes down another tier. And then it's like a hill. It goes all the way to the back. So they can't see as much back there. So fireworks are loud. Obviously they're audible, they're visual. The big trees block a lot of them around here, and the smoke is sometimes ridiculous. It's literally like a war zone. So that's it. You guys know I love to hear your stories, how you handle the situation. That's just some suggestions for you if you're new at this game, what to do, and let me know what you think. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy your 4th of July. And that's it.